American schoolchildren are apparently falling victim to the polarization of US politics. It has been reported that the curriculum in so-called swing states is being repeatedly rewritten depending on who's in power.
Until recently, the election of state school boards who set academic standards was not even run on party lines. People didn't view them as politicians, but simply as functionaries carrying out the task of how we educate our kids. However, like so many other things, now it is deeply political. Here's the #1 disagreement. What system of government does the United States have? Now, according to the Democrats, the USA is a democracy. And according to the Republicans, the USA is, you guessed it, a republic. However, some say that there could be common ground between the two terms.
The debate really isn't about whether a republic or a democracy, but understanding that we can be both.
In Michigan, the Republicans did not like the social studies curriculum.
It is biased in a very left-leaning way, and I find that problematic.
So they made a few changes. First of all, they reduced references to the Ku Klux Klan and the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. They reduced gay and lesbian content, and they cut out climate change completely. So the Democrats tried to slip in a few changes of their own, and that draft got the Republicans fired up.
When I look at the things changed between drafts after hundreds of hours of debate, it's mind-numbing.
It's not just happening in Michigan. The standards set by Texas and California, the two biggest U.S. states, are the most influential when it comes to the printing of U.S. school textbooks. And both states are getting pretty partisan when it comes to U.S. history and social studies. In Texas, they have cut Hillary Clinton completely out of history. And in California, a mural depicting George Washington, the first U.S. president who was also a slave owner, has been taken down. So parents, it seems, are voting for which historical narrative they want their kids to learn in school when they pick the school board. At this point, in California, the debate has gotten so heated that an empathy tent has been set up near the debating site.
There are some folks who have lots of opinions, and these seem to be making some noises about it, and we find that listening is better than shouting.
Back in 1974, West Virginia residents who thought that the school textbooks were offensive to evangelical Christians got rather fired up. There were bombings and shootings. Coal miners went out on strike. For most Americans, social studies class is a distant childhood memory, not a burning political controversy. However, in 2019, it seems like everything is getting political, including the classroom.
It's happening all over the country because every school district has a school board that's democratically elected, and they go back and forth. If it's a really conservative community or a really liberal community, then it's fairly stable, but it doesn't really reflect what the other, the minority group there that can't elect a school board. It's not a national curriculum like you have in, say, Sweden or France or Germany or England. It means that a kid growing up in Texas learns different things and reads different books in literature classes than a kid growing up in California or New York. The publishing industry are concerned about only two states. One is Texas, which is fairly conservative, and one is California, which is fairly liberal. If the textbook's too conservative, California school districts won't buy them. We have a fairly diversified, educated population. It's pretty stupid to have all your kids in the country basically getting a partial education when it comes to history and literature.
Okay, that's our midweek news roundup for now. But stay with us, because a term we seem to be hearing more and more is universal basic credit. But just exactly what is it, and how may it affect you going underground? Has the answers, and it's next.